Alexis. And this year, I decided that I was going to do the A to Z challenge. If you don't know what the A to Z challenge is, it's basically where you pick a book for each letter of the alphabet. And then the template that I found had 4 extra categories on it, which was one word in the title, favorite color on the cover, an animal on the cover, and a number in the title. So that comes out to 30 books. My goal of the year is to read 75. So I figured picking 30 that I want myself to read this year is a great start to getting me on the way to 75. So I decided today that I'm going to take you through my list of books that I chose to read for this A to Z challenge this year. And hopefully you all will keep me accountable and I can actually read all 30 of these this year. For letter A, I chose Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. And I don't know a whole lot about this book, but I've heard nothing but great reviews about it. And I saw that book 2 is coming out this year, and that she already announced the title for book 3, which is coming out pretty soon after book 2. So I'm really excited, and I want to finish this so I can get the next one when it comes out. For B, I picked Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I've never read anything by Kennedy Ryan before, but I saw that this is book 1 in a series, and book 2 is coming out in March, and book 2 is also on my anticipated releases of 2024, so I have to read this one before I can read that one. For C, I picked Check-in Mate by Allie Hazelwood. This one I have not heard the best reviews about lately. I was real excited when this was announced because I was like, I love Allie Hazelwood, and she's writing a YA book that's going to be so cute. But I put this on this list so that I'll read it because I have loved everything she's ever written that I've read. So I still want to form my own opinion about this. And also this edition is signed. For D, I picked Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I don't know a whole lot about this book. I'm pretty sure that they're enemies. But she thinks that she's writing letters to her brother. But it turns out she's writing them to this other guy. He knows who he's writing letters back and forth with, but she doesn't. And then I'm pretty sure they fall in love or something. Not 100% sure. But I've heard amazing reviews about this, so I want to read it. For E, I picked Ellie is Cool Now by Victoria Fulton and Faith McLaren. I saw this at Walmart a while back, and I thought this cover was really cute, and I'm excited to read it. It says, meet the girl who's most likely to make everything worse. That tagline just drew me in, so I'm excited. For F, I picked Fairest of All by Serena Valentino, which is book 1 in the Villain series. And I've had this on my TBR probably since the book came out, around 2017, 2018. And I have almost the whole series. You can kind of see it back behind me. There's another one coming out this year that I obviously don't have yet, but I want to try to read the whole series before the new one comes out. I believe the end of July. So I have a little bit of time, but I figured the best way to make myself jumpstart this series is to read book 1. For G, I picked Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, which is book 2 in a Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. And I really, really enjoyed the first one, so I'm sure I'm going to enjoy this one too. I just have to take the push and make myself read it. For H, I picked Heartless by Marissa Meyer, which from my understanding is a story about the Queen of Hearts. Not 100% sure if it's her villain origin story or what, but I'm excited to read it. For I picked Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I've heard amazing things about this book, and it's a hockey and figure skater romance, so I'm kind of excited to read it. For J, I picked Just Haven't Met You Yet by Sophie Cousins. The premise of this book sounds really cute. It's about this lifestyle reporter named Laura who's going on a business trip, and when she makes it to the hotel after leaving the airport, she finds out that she grabbed the wrong suitcase from the suitcase carousel or whatever it's called. And as she's going through the contents of it, trying to figure out whose it is, she's finding all these things and she's like, oh my goodness, this guy is my dream guy. But the only issue is I have no idea who he is or where he is or how to find him. So it just sounds really cute. For K, I picked Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is book 2 in the Natural series. And I want to read this whole series. Like one of my goals in 2024 is to read the whole 4 books of the series. So I put book 1 on my January TBR and I haven't touched it yet. So I figured putting book 2 on here would make me have to read that one so that I can get to this one. I was thinking. For L, I picked Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Because like I said earlier, every adult romance of Ali Hazelwood's that I've read, I've loved. So I'm sure I'm going to love this one too. I was putting this one off because I felt like I was going to be sad after I finished this one because there wasn't any more of her books to read. She became like one of my favorite authors last year. But we're getting 2 books by her in 2024. So I think it's okay to read this one now. So I put it on this list. And then for M, I picked Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I've heard that you either love this book or you hate it. And I've also heard that it's like a British Gossip Girl. I honestly have never watched Gossip Girl. I want to, but I just haven't. But I'm hoping that I really love this book. Partially because I already bought the whole series. But another part of me is because, like, everyone who loves it is, like, obsessed with it. And I want to feel obsessed with something like that. For N, I picked Never by Jessa Hastings, which I've heard not so great things about this book. I'm excited to give it a chance and figure out for myself if I like it. It is a Peter Pan reimagining. And I love Peter Pan. So, like, I really want to give this a shot. I'm just hoping it's not as bad as the reviews I've heard. So, I'm kind of nervous. We'll just see what happens. Then for O, I picked OCD Love Story by Corey Ann Haydu. This was, like, my all-time favorite book when I was in, like, 7th grade, 8th grade. Read it all the time. It's a little beat up, if you can't tell, because, like, my sisters also borrowed it from me and stuff. But I've been wanting an excuse to reread it because I haven't read it in so long that I forgot what it's about. So I figured, what a better time to reread it than now. I don't think my sister ever finished reading it because I just found this in the middle of it. Anyway, P, I picked Paper Hearts by Ali Novik, mainly because this has been on my TBR for a really long time and I just want to get it off of there. I don't know anything about it. So I don't even know if I'm going to like it. But we're going to at least attempt to read it, if not finish this book. For Q, I picked Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking by Susan Cain. I am a very big introvert, so I figured this would be a good book for me to read. So here we are. For R, I picked Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney because I've heard amazing reviews about this book. And I've never really been a thriller or mystery girl, but I really want to start reading them. So putting this on my TBR will make me read it. For S, I picked 7 X's by Lucy Vine. And I know absolutely nothing about this book. Absolutely nothing. Have not read the back cover. Don't plan on it. I want to go into this one blind. I'm just so obsessed with this cover. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just so beautiful. So, putting it on my TBR so that I'll read it. For T, I picked Time Bomb by Joelle Carabanu. I butchered that name and I'm so sorry. But I don't know a whole lot about this book except for the tagline. It says, 6 students, 1 school, and time is running out. My husband saw this book at one of the bookstores we went to and he's like, you should get that. It sounds good. And I read that tagline and I was like, okay, I'll get it. So that's why I have it, and I want to read it. For you, I picked Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. I've heard, like, really good things about all of his books, so I'm just excited to pick one up. And also, this edition is just really pretty. For V, I picked Verity by Colleen Hoover. And I've heard that this one, you either love it or you hate it. There's no in between. I've really loved the 6 of her books that I've read so far. So I'm really hoping I love this one too, but we'll see. And I heard it's kind of like a little thriller, so maybe this will help me start to like thrillers too. So for W, I picked Wildfire by Hannah Grace. which is book 2 in the, I believe it's called the Maple Hills series. This is book 2. I figured if I put both of them on there that I will actually read them. So for X, I don't have a physical copy of it, but I'm going to read it on Kindle Unlimited. It's called XOXO by Axio. And I don't know anything that it's about, but I thought the cover was really cute, so I picked it. For Y, I picked Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Part of Your World, which is book 1 in this like companionship series that this is a part of. I put on my January TBR. Shocker, I didn't read it. But hopefully I'll read that one later this year so that I can get to this one. And then for Z, I also don't have. My first thought was to do the first book in the Zodiac Academy series, which is called The Awakening. But when I went to the bookstore to buy it, I saw that on the cover it says The Awakening. I then totally realized, oh, that doesn't really start with Z. So currently I don't have a book picked out for Z. So if anyone has any ideas, please leave them in the comments below so that I can find a book to read for Z. Otherwise, I might just still read that one, but we'll see what happens. And then for the last 4 prompts, the first one was one word in the title. So I picked Sunkissed by Casey West because I absolutely love this cover. It's just so beautiful. And I've had this on my TBR for a little bit, so I just want to get it off. The next prompt was favorite color on the cover. So my favorite color is blue. So I picked Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan because this cover is so gorgeous. And I've heard that everyone absolutely loves this book. And I really want to buy the special edition of this book. And my husband said I can't do that unless I read this book. So we're putting this on the TBR. Next was a number in the title. So picked 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I really don't know anything about this book either, except for everyone that has read it has loved it. And I've heard people cried while reading it. And sometimes you just want one of those books. So here we are. And the last prompt was a animal on the cover. So I picked The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren because of the toucan on it. And I've heard that this one, you either like it or you don't. And I really hope that I like it, so we're going to try it out. This would be the second book I've read by them, and I really liked the first one. So yeah, this is my A to Z challenge books for the year. Hopefully, I can accomplish my goal of reading all 30 of them. Thank you so much for watching today's video. And if you're excited to see me read any of these, let me know and I'll make a video of me reading them. Thanks again so much for watching today's video, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day.